What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And guys, for today's video I found a lot of very important news. First of all, I will start with the minor news and I will show you that our community is extremely powerful and extremely strong. Then I will bust some myths in regards to next bridge hydrocarbons assets. On top of that, I will show you more evidence that major hedge funds and broker-dealers were potentially involved in the illegal activity surrounding the MMTLP shares. And the most important part of my today's video is that potentially we might attract a huge ally on our side, and the name of this ally is Senator John Kennedy. Yes, you heard me right. And I will show you very clever steps from our community in order to grab his attention. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm. It takes me several hours to make these type of videos. That is why I want to exchange several hours of my hard work for just a split of a second of your time. That is why just hit the like button. So, and let's start with this news. Yesterday I showed you that Charles Gasparina is still trying to push our case down, and I want to I want to quote you this tweet that is reflecting for 100% my thoughts. Stephanie wrote in response to Charles Gasparina's gibberish. She said, "Retail investors need to come together and hold these media guys accountable. They are 100% complicit in the crimes against retail investors. It's beyond me why folks would give this guy a platform. Also, it's extremely unprofessional for him to be on social media making fun of people. It's not a good look for Fox business. Charles Gasparina and Jim Cramer need to be investigated and sued." And I completely agree, because yesterday I showed you that Charles Gasparina is still trying to push our case down. He makes a lot of posts and he used just half of truth in order to make his own conclusions, and his conclusions definitely leads to not the best results for us as MMTLP shareholders. So, and guys, Charles Gasparina is not the only person. We also have a lot of people who has a lot of doubts about next bridge hydrocarbons assets. And let me show you this tweet. You know that next bridge hydrocarbons has more than 3.2 billion barrels of oil and gas assets, and these oil and gas assets is just a potential estimation. And a lot of people have a lot of doubts in regards to this information. And let me show you this tweet. So, Sidestep 423 wrote this. Oh yeah, name one exploration business in the oil and industry who doesn't produce anything. Listen to yourself for a second. You're making the argument there exist oil companies that don't intend to produce oil and therefore don't have revenue. And that's a valuable business. And guys, I have to say that every oil and gas company started from the discovery of their locations, of their mining site, and Next Bridge Hydrocarbons is one of these companies. On top of that, as you can see, Plant answered exactly this, and he also added, if you knew anything about Greg McCabe, you would know what the plan is. You will learn soon enough. And guys, it is quite a promising statement, and let me show you even more promising statements. First of all, here you can see the tweet that was reposted by Anna, and that was originally made by Syntax Queen of the Metaverse. Just had a lovely phone conversation with Greg McCabe. Anybody who's saying he's upset with me and Anna Trades is full of crap. And I have to admit that Greg McCabe, if you don't know what background does he have, let me show you this. On the official Next Bridge Hydrocarbons website, you can find this. Mr. McCabe brings almost 40 years of experience to Next Bridge, and working with geologist Rick Masterson, was extremely active in the early development of the Wolfbone play in the Delaware Basin, portion of the Permian Basin. The experience and knowledge learned in the Wolf-Bond play helped formulate McCabe and Masterson's theories and concepts regarding the Orogrande Basin. In October 1984, McCabe formed McCabe Petroleum Corporation, which he owns and manages today. McCabe has active ownership in several other oil and gas entities, including Mannix Royalty, Texas Rock Oil, and TRCH. McCabe graduated with a Bachelor of Science degree in Geology in 1984 from Sul Ross State University. And guys, this person has a huge experience in the field of oil and gas explorations. And how in the world this person decided to enter the NextBridge hydrocarbon saga if he doesn't know anything in regards to its assets? And let me show you that on top of the fact that he is the largest MMTLP and NextBridge, for now NextBridge hydrocarbons shareholder, just recently in late August of 2023, he bought the debt that the company owed to Metamaterials, and he became a CEO and chairman of NextBridge Hydrocarbons. This means you can rely on his experience. If you don't have enough your own experience, you can rely on his one in order to make your conclusion that NextBridge Hydrocarbons is a valuable company in terms of its oil and gas assets. So let's go forward. And on my yesterday's video, I showed you the due diligence that was made by Timmy Donahue, another community member, and he said that he will make a summary in order to give more clear and more thorough information in regards to his recent findings. So, and he added this tweet just several hours ago. I deleted that last comment, mumble jumble talk to text. Bottom line is we both ended up at the same place from the other side of those vehicles, which isn't a coincidence. I basically came from the other end of the trade. You guys came from where it started. And he's talking about the fact that FINRA has a conflict of interest because FINRA is basically ruling one minor company, one minor stock exchange, which has several deals with MMAT shares as well. So let me continue. I will clarify when I get out of work why it should be called nothing but exchange, dark pool, financial terrorist organization, whatever. But I'm not a words guy either. About 4 more days of tweeting, and a little less with the jaw and a little more with the paw. Boots are going on the ground time to find out who we are, the doers, and who are the sayers. And he added this tweet in response to his own tweet, and let me quote you this. I hope my post about MMAT trading on the OTC using UTP exemption was not taken misinformation, and what I had posted about MIAX options and derivatives. Lastly, which kind of ties all together my first post about XADF was questioned by a few who said it needed to be vetted and approved before I posted it. I have never once posted anything that wasn't 100% truth again. I just want to clarify. In fact, I said something that was not true. XADF is an SRO, an exchange, and they are also quoting MIAX is an SRO, as well as an exchange, and they were using options as well as derivatives and directly linked to XBT trading TRCH close only. Here's what I provided first thing about MIAX, their disclosure and for owners. And let me show you this document. As you can see, the owners, so the following firms own more than 5% MIAX Peer LLC parent company, Miami International Holdings Incorporated. And one of them is Citadel Securities, and another is Susquehanna Securities. And we know that just recently we found out that they have billions of dollars of shares sold and not yet purchased. And this means they are nakedly shorting these companies. And one of these companies is definitely NextBridge Hydrocarbons, formerly known as MMTLP and TRCH. On top of that, guys, let me show you this quite amazing update. So, John Burda reposted this information, and this information was found by Crystal Ball. He said, Citadel has an exemption where their brokers don't need to report trades in US securities made by high net worth Canadians. And he added this screenshot that was dated on February the 12th, 2016, which proves his words. And guys, how it is even possible that a major hedge fund and major market maker doesn't need to report these type of trades from Canadians, from abroad basically, and this means they can do anything on the market? It doesn't make sense to me. On top of that, let me show you the most crucial part of my today's video. Here you can see the tweet that was made by Senator John Kennedy on March the 4th, and he said, the SEC's CAT could put the personal data of 158 million Americans at risk. That's why I introduced a bill to protect Americans from this prime database and demanded the SEC investigate the CAT's privacy risks. And in response to his tweet, Mark Basile wrote this: Senator, for someone that I always thought of as having high moral character, you should personally familiarize yourself about the MMTLP fiasco. Most of your colleagues in the Senate and House have. Once you fully understand this situation, I believe you will actually change your views and become an advocate for the 65,000+ shareholders that were harmed by this system currently in place. Be part of the solution. These people are voters too. And he also added this in response to the tweet that was also made by Mimo6611. Nicely said, Mark. You should also tell him about the millions of others investors that are getting ripped off every day by these cockroaches who are so afraid of transparency in the market. Thanks for your support. And Marx wrote, that's coming. This is the systematic problem affecting all retail shareholders. It's optically corrupt market with certain loopholes as wide as the Grand Canyon. Why are smaller overseas markets addressing this exact problem and the US isn't? It makes our politicians and regulators actually look foolish and discredits our supposedly free markets. And as you can see, he published this on 9 p.m. On March the 6th. And right after that, in just several minutes on 9:11 p.m., he wrote this. He basically addresses to Ralph Norman, and he said, Ralph Norman, could you send a staffer over to the Senate building to provide Senator John Kennedy information on the MMTLP fiasco and remind him it's not just the group of 65,000 shareholders. It's millions of retail shareholders that have blindly placed their faith in the US public markets, believing that Congress, the SEC, and FINRA would inherently protect their investments from predatory hedge funds, broker-dealers, and investment advisors. See also AMC, GME, and about 5,000 more stock symbols. And guys, it is quite a wise decision to ask Representative Ralph Norman and his office to contact Senator John Kennedy in order to give him this information. On top of that, guys, let me remind you that Don Fis is on his way to District Columbia, to Washington, District Columbia, where he will definitely contact with a lot of more Congress members, and potentially he can explain our current situation in person to Senator John Kennedy. And in my opinion, it is a real bombshell in our case. On top of that, guys, let me show you this. Richard Hoffman published some update in regards to his arbitration. He said, brief update regarding my Fidelity arbitration. Filed a second reply to Fidelity's improperly filed second opposition to my motion to compel. Also based on what I see as suppressing discovery, I renewed my motion for depositions. The sweet and generous arbiters have not been overly efficient in forcing discovery to this point. And yes, I think it is a very wise decision when Richard Hoffman decided to file all these discrepancies that are happening right now in regards to his arbitration with the federal court. Definitely he can make an appeal to federal court in order to resolve this problem. On top of that, guys, let me show you that Richard Hoffman will attend to Dennis Neal podcast this Friday. And Dennis Neal wrote this 6 hours ago. And the cool thing is, an interview with Richard Hoffman is coming up tomorrow on What's Bugging Me on Ricochet. And I think it will be very useful and well-made interview where we will have a lot of more updates in regards to our case. And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this